With how good of a dinner you're about to have, you can replace that decorative towel. Barbecue ribs are always worth it. You want to know a trick with men? Sure, he might be able to get you all these things, but that's a lot to ask of a person. So instead, you could just give him one or two things, preferably one thing at a time, and he'll probably get more done that way. Also less stress for him, but I mean, unfortunately it seems like a lot of people don't care about that.
We need to stop dating people that we don't actually like, okay? You're not gonna change their job. You're not.
I couldn't agree with her more. Sometimes it's easier just to find someone that fits what you want already or what you need. You should never try to change a person. They're not going to change for you. People change for themselves. And even then, that's really hard. Changing for yourself is difficult. So let the person be who they want to be and see if they're right for you. If not, find someone who is.
Why do people tell you they're not ready for a relationship, but then still expect you to act as if you're in?
It's definitely a control thing. If someone truly cares about you as a person, they're going to want you to do what makes you happy and what's going to be good for you in the long run and the short run, even if it's not the greatest thing for them personally. They're willing to sacrifice their needs for you, to a certain extent, of course, to make you happy. And when they refuse to be in a relationship with you, but also expect you to act like you're in a relationship with them, that's some toxic behavior. It's like the whole logic, I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to have you either. Okay, so she clearly doesn't care how it affects men. Let's talk about how it affects women and everybody else. You realize when you make false accusations like this, it affects women too. It affects anyone who is a victim of this because they're less likely to be believed. Not only that, when men are victims of being accused of this, it rips families apart because there's a good chance he's going to be arrested for it, and that damages families.
Asks about it, she knows about it. So don't lie about it.
This is so true, and everything that you say can and will be held against you long term. So it's important in these situations to just be blunt and honest. Maybe try to paint yourself in a slightly better light than she's probably perceiving you to be at the moment. So obviously I made that video on only dating people you find attractive. But this is also a valid point, and I saw a lot of comments that talked about this. Once you get to know somebody and you start to like them, their outer appearance becomes more attractive. And that is so true. But I feel like that only works to a certain extent. So I once dated a guy that I didn't find very attractive. This has only happened once. And overall, when I got to know him, his outer appearance did become better. But overall, I still wasn't that attracted to him. So it boosted him up a little bit, but it only can do so much overall. So you gotta kind of figure out where that's at. But then there's another situation where I developed feelings for someone, and when I first saw them, I thought they were okay looking. They weren't really that attractive, but they weren't ugly to me. And he turned into like a solid 10 once I really started to like him as a person. So it's almost like you need to figure out where that point is for you, like where their appearance can be and how much they could potentially improve. For me, the first guy, he had nothing that I normally find attractive in a guy. Like, he wasn't my type at all. Whereas the second guy had characteristics that I do find attractive and only one thing that I found normally unattractive, but then it became cute on him once I really got to know him and his personality. Right? It's such a joke that men now have to be concerned about going somewhere like the gym. There are literally so many things that you could do instead, like talk to him directly or go to the employees, say, hey, this guy's making me feel uncomfortable. But the reality is, recording a video and posting it of him doesn't really help the situation. And I feel like a lot of women who actually are doing this know that. They just want the attention that they get for these videos.
Don't ever argue with a man. Exactly. Cry. Like, crying is so much more feminine than arguing, and you get exactly what you want.
And in a few years from now, when men no longer take women seriously when they're crying, this is gonna be why. And if you really want something, why not just have that conversation? Men truly like it when a woman can maintain, composure in stressful situations. So yeah, you might get what you want when you cry here and there. If you're constantly doing it, he's just gonna get really irritated. It's gonna get really annoying. And you won't get the results that you want anymore. Instead, he'll probably end up leaving you. He'll also catch on that you're just using it to manipulate him. If every time you want something, you're just like, and you're crying, he'll put two and two together quickly and realize it's not authentic. I really don't get this weird obsession some women have being treated like an infant. You want him to give you whatever you want when you cry. You want him to pay all your bills and support you. Like, how did we go from wanting to be capable to wanting someone to just take care of us? That's the thing, though. Men in their 30s can definitely operate a sponge and dish soap. The problem is the perception of whether something is done correctly or incorrectly. I feel like a good portion of women have this set way of how something should be done. They're not open-minded to having things done a little bit differently than what they're used to. So they end up nagging him to do it their way, when his way is probably just as correct as her way. Also, priorities tend to be different. A woman may prioritize some of the chores, whereas a man will happily let those chores go to the wayside for a little while so he can focus on other things. So naturally, when he feels forced to do something, he's not going to do it as good, because at the moment it may not be a priority to him.
It was like a constant affair, like they talked on the phone, whatever. Okay, they had this like whole relationship you had no idea about. Then you find out the girl is engaged. Bitch. Would you or would you not tell the fiance?
Let me ask you this. If you were being cheated on, would you or would you not want that person that has that info to tell you? Let me guess. The answer is yes, you would want them to tell you. Please, if someone's being cheated on and you know for sure, or if you have like evidence, tell the other person. When people are in relationships and they're being cheated on, they're wasting their time. Because the sad reality is, if they've already been doing this long term, they're probably not ever gonna stop. And someone's time is their most valuable resource. I know there's some people out there that's like, it's none of your business what's going on in their relationship. You know what? With cheating, I don't care. At least let the person know so they can make an informed decision, especially before they get married. And if you don't want your identity to be known, use a fake social media account or something. I actually have a few of those for that very purpose.
$7,200 to live alone and not live with a man for children. The background noise of having other people cohabitating the house with me, I couldn't do it.
And that's fine if you choose to live that way, but at the same time, when did not being able to deal with other people become a flex? Like, I know a lot of us just like to keep to ourselves. That's the ideal. But it's also a skill to be able to live with another person, to be easygoing and understanding enough of their needs in addition to your own, that you're not only thinking of yourself. I feel like that's something that we've lost over time as people become more self-absorbed.
Asking her how to do the most basic things with the freaking dishwasher as though he's never run the dishes before. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And
I think in a lot of cases, men ask these basic questions, not because they don't know how to do it, but because the way that they do it is not good enough for their partner. So they've gotten in trouble a few times before, how they've loaded the dishwasher. They found it's just better to ask and have her, like, coach him through it so he doesn't get in trouble. It really is unfortunate we don't just trust men to do things the way that they would normally do them.
men posting pictures of themselves is not the same thing as a man liking another girl's picture. Biologically, women...
You're completely right, it's not. Because posting pictures like that is worse than a man liking a girl's photo. Because she's putting herself out there. Encouraging people to contact her in that way, or view her in that way. Otherwise, she'd post photos of herself fully clothed. A man liking another woman's photo is him simply saying, I like this. Maybe he finds her attractive, whatever. But it's not him making an actual move or trying to get her to contact him. Whereas posting photos like that, you're encouraging men to contact you. That's a woman's version of making the first move. Because women don't really make the first move in general, the same way men do. No man likes a woman's photo thinking, oh, I hope she'll contact me. Especially those women that have literally thousands of likes. He knows his like is just going to get lost in the list of likes. She's not going to notice his individual like. And for men, making a move is not that easy. It's really hard for a man to even have a conversation with a random woman he doesn't know. It's not going to be as simple as liking a photo. Whereas a woman posting photos like that, it can literally be that easy.
I'm pretty sure I just unlocked a new ick for me. When a man finds your hyper-independence super attractive. Yeah, I can be independent. Like, the fact that you find that hot and attractive is, like, a huge ick for me.
Then why is that something that a lot of women bring up first thing on the date? That I'm a strong, independent woman. I pay my own bills. So what? You're supposed to. You're an adult. And now it's an ick if he finds that attractive, if that's what he wants. At this point, are we just purposely trying to find out what men like so we can purposely hate on it and it becomes the new ick? Men like video games? Oh, that's an ick. Oh, wait, that's already an ick.
Oh, men like it when we pay for the date. I swear if men were to be like, oh, we love it when women don't even offer to pay on the date, women would just all start paying for dates. I think I just figured it out. Men, just start making videos about all the things that you hate, but instead make it seem like you really like it, and then you have like maximum control over all these women. Like literally anything that you want. Oh, and by the way, men hate it when you're really good at communicating and when you're really blunt about what you want. Just keep that in mind.